Now he came before Jagannath Das Swami. The chain, the civic system, Baladev Vidyabhushan, whose guru was Vishwanath. Rasikananda Goswami appeared in this world on the day of Diwali in 1590 in the village of Rohini or Raini in the Matnapore district. Nanda and his mother was Bhavani Devi. The Subhana Rekha river crosses back and forth across the present-day Bengal-Orissa border, and the Midnapore district used to be part of the Orissan capital. So Raja Achyutanandan was the Orion of the Karana caste, the equivalent of Kayashtas, so that's Kshatriyas in Bengal. A Vaishnava is beyond, of course, the material qualities and should not be judged. Was also known by the name Rasika Murari. Lived the famous of Achyutanandan. He had two names. He became learned in the scriptures in his childhood. He was very devoted to his parents, especially his mother, whose name was Bhavani. Dasi who had village only on the banks where in earlier ages the Pandavas had
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Rasika Murari was anxious to find a spiritual master who could give him guidance on the mystical path. One day in Gantashila, he went to a solitary place to meditate. He had unseen source saying, Murari, you need be will meet him very shortly. Take shelter of him and your life will be successful. Ramachandra Kaviraj, and then we have this trio of and Shyamananda. So who were trained by Jiva Goswami directly about Krishna consciousness, and one of the most amazing personalities. Upon hearing the divine message, Murari began chanting the entire night, crying out of eager expectation to meet his guru, until finally at the end of the night, he had a dream vision of Shyamananda Prabhu, who said to him, don't worry any longer, for you will meet me on this very day. At dawn, Rasika Murari was on the lookout for his guru when he saw the tall figure of Shyamananda approaching him as effulgent as the sun. Surrounded by disciples like Kishore Das, he was dancing in the state of absorption in divine love while chanting the names of Nityananda and Chaitanya. Rasika Murari had been waiting anxiously for so long to encounter his guru that he immediately fell down at his feet. Shyamananda affectionately lifted him up, embraced him, and then after giving him the Radha Krishna mantra, he offered him to Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhus. This whole story demonstrates how we can find a guru through sincere prayers. Send a spiritual guide. It may take some time. It can take a long time. But we can be sure that he will answer the prayer that we want to have a spiritual guide. Please send us somebody who will act as our guru and take us back to you. So he will answer that prayer. It's a question of time. On an auspicious day, Shyamananda initiated Rasika and his wife fully committed himself in initiating Guru himself. In fact, there is a disciple becomes a good teacher. A spiritual master may have innumerable followers who call him their guru, but our disciples in name only. Only a true disciple who has dedicated himself completely to a spiritual master is imbued with all the powers of the guru. Rasikananda began to travel with his guru, during which time he became a very intimate disciple. Shyamananda bestowed upon him the service of Sri Radha Govinda at Sri Gopi Balla Bhapur. Rasikananda became totally engaged in this lordship service, and the deities were charmed by his excellent services. At Gopi Balla Bhapur and other places, he began to seriously take up the preaching of the message of Sri Sri Gaunitai. Shyamananda invested Rasikananda with such destroying the jewel of prema upon them all. It is not possible to count the number of living entities that were extricated from the ocean of material existence by Rasikananda and Dev's association. He was always intoxicated with the chanting of the holy names. Who cannot be but overwhelmed by hearing about his uncommon qualities? This is from the Bhakti Ratnakar. Many virtuous kings in Zamindars, such as the king of Mayurbhanj, named Vidyanath Bhanj, the king of Pateshpur, known as Gajapati, and Chandrabhauna, the king of Moina, took shelter at his lotus feet. By his influence, many atheists and non-believers were transformed into devotees of Gaunitai. By atheists were delivered from their sinful activities and received his village in the company of his disciples. On one occasion, a Muslim tried to silence Rasikananda by having him attacked by an intoxicated elephant. But Rasikananda was able to transform even the elephant into a disciple and engage him in the service of Vishnu and Vaishnavas. All who witnessed this amazing event were overwhelmed with astonishment at Rasikananda's spiritual power, and the evil Muslim Zamindar himself came and surrendered to him. Another vicious wild elephant was tamed by Rasikananda's transcendental influence and henceforth was known as Gopal Das. Later, 2 jungle tigers likewise gave up their ferocious nature. So this is the impact of this amazing devotee. One year during Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra festival, wonderful pastime took place. Rasikananda Dev's preaching somewhere in the country, but when he realized it was time for Rath Yatra, he Lord Jagannath, who felt reciprocal separation from his dear devotee Rasikananda, caused the Rath to stop. Though the king summoned his elephants to push the Rath, under no circumstance could they budge, not even an inch. Then Jagannath, seeing that the king became frustrated, informed him that he was waiting his devotee Rasika. Finally, Rasikananda Dev arrived, carrying with him many offerings of silk cloths and other presents. He fell offering his dandavats to Lord Jagannath. The king requested him to pull the rope, at which point died. Later, the king requested Rasikananda to accept a gift of a place known as Full Tota Mat, which is now known as Kunjamat. There he installed the deity of Sri Bhat Krishna. The deity is now known as Sri Sri Radha Rasika Ray. Haven't been there actually. Rasikananda had 3 sons, Radhananda, Krishna Govinda, and Radha Krishna. The present servants of Sri Sri Radha Govinda at Gopi Vallabhapur are their descendants. He composed Sri Shyamananda Saptaka, Srimad Bhagavatastaka, interesting, Kunjakeli Dwadeshaka, as well as other hymns and songs. So, Karuna. Accepting the order of his guru, Sri Shyamananda on his head, Rasikananda preached the message of Gauranga in the world for approximately 16 years. Thereafter, he entered into these eternal pastimes through the lotus feet of Gopinath. Gopi Vallabhapur. What are the names of the deities? Look amazing though. So, Rasikananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Any questions, any comments? These 2 amazing souls, we can get their blessings so that we can continue on our journey. Rasikananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai.